What's good, Commanders fans? So the draft is 4 days away, man. This is crazy. With 4 or 3, today's Monday, so I guess technically 3 days away. But it is crazy, man. The draft is really here. It really is draft week. I'm gonna try to go live Thursday, the day of the draft. Now I'm gonna try to go live Friday just to talk about prospects. Best prospects available for day 2 for rounds 2 and 3. Now, like I said, I should be at the draft party at the National Harbor on Saturday, but I'm looking at the forecast right now. It's going to rain, so I don't know if they have like a inside venue for it, but we'll see what happens. So this draft, this is gonna be kind of quick. I only did 3 rounds. I'm not gonna do all 7 rounds right now because it's really now or never, to be honest, because I just don't know a lot of the late round prospects. I do know some of them, but it's a crapshoot at that time. I'm not trying to predict. I'm just this draft is really who I like, who I want. The next draft I'm going to put out, I did a trade back where it's kind of like thinking through the mind of Ron Rivera and Martin Mayhew. This one is kind of through my eyes of guys who I think we should get. I didn't do any trades or trade back scenarios in this one. I just went with BPA, best player available. I did 3 rounds, so let's get started, man. We got to do the ESPN music. I love that music. I love the sound of the draft. With the 16th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Devon Witherspoon out of Illinois. This guy is a lockdown corner, very physical, can play man and zone. Very physical tackler, man. I love how aggressive he is. He's got that dog in him, talks a lot of trash, can play man and zone. Fluid hips, ran a 4.45, so he has some speed to him. A lot of physicality, can play press man, can play off ball. Had a 92.5 PFF coverage grade, 0 touchdowns allowed, only allowed 22 total receptions on 425 snaps this year at the University of Illinois. Did play with Quan Martin, played with the safety Brown out there, so they had a nasty secondary out there at Illinois. But Devon Witherspoon definitely stood out. Had an 85+ grade in both man and zone coverage last season. So 5'11", so he's not the biggest guy, the tallest guy out there. The knock on him is that he's a little small for what scouts say. 5'11", 181 pounds, possibly get pushed around a little bit, but he makes up for that height and the weight with just the dog in him, the heart. Like, you watch this man tackle, he's not scared to tackle running backs, come up in the run game and tackle and be physical. This guy is a mean, aggressive, violent football player, a senior, so he checks that box. Ron Rivera, he does like seniors, so he saw last year. Sam Howell, I think he was a junior, but a lot of the guys they drafted were seniors. Like Brian Robinson was a senior, Fadarian Mathis was a senior, Jahan Dotson was a senior. So he liked a lot of guys that were, seasoned veterans at the college level. So yeah, he allowed a completion percentage rate of just 34.9% in 2022. Just a lockdown corner. They just stopped throwing to his side, honestly, throughout the year. 14 pass breakups in 2022 as well. Some of his strengths per NFL Network, takes ball side angles to disrupt the catch point, zeroes in on receivers' hands in deep throws, impressive route recognition and trigger on the throw. So he did have, he had 3 interceptions on the season, so he takes the ball away. A lot of guys on this roster, they just don't take the ball away, and we need that. I think Devon Witherspoon is a guy that can be a ball hawk out there and be physical and take the ball away. We need guys that can take the football away. I think Devon Witherspoon is certainly a guy that can do that. Now, weaknesses can be jab step, off balance by release fakes. Coverage is very handsy after the first 5 yards. Sluggish to transition hips and match route breaks from his back pedal. So those are some of the weaknesses. They say top end speed could be an issue at the next level. Now, the scout report also says that he might require help over the top or a more zone-oriented scheme to help him shine. So now John Keim, he did say that the Commanders are not going to draft Joey Porter Jr. He just quickly said that. I just listened to the podcast. I actually watched it on YouTube. It's like on Empire Media. Of course, he's a well-known source or a well-known guy or that gets a lot of information from Ron Rivera and Martin Mayhew. For him to say that, so, we're taking a lot of stock in his word that they're not going to take Joey Porter Jr. because Joey Porter Jr. is, more of a press man coverage corner, a la William Jackson. So we saw that didn't work out. So what John Keim said is believable for sure, and John Keim has been correct for the most part when it comes to the draft and free agency. So I do think Devon Witherspoon would be more of a fit. Now, I don't see Devon Witherspoon getting out of the top, really 13 of the Lions. Maybe the Eagles might draft him at 10. There's a lot of teams that might take Devon with the Patriots. They might draft him at corner. So I don't really see him getting to 16, but he fell to me. I used Pro Football Network, their mock draft simulator, and he fell to me. So But I think he would be a great pick. He can play slot a little bit too. We do need a slot corner, but most likely he would be outside. Ben St. Jude's being outside, Kendall Fuller outside, and Devon Witherspoon outside as well. But we definitely need another corner. We do need more depth for sure on this roster. We need guys that can take the football away. Especially, Eagles got the Eagles have good receivers. The Cowboys got good receivers. And the NFC East, man, I mean, you got good receivers that you're going to be going up against twice a year. So you need as many corners as you can get. With the 47th pick of the Commanders, the 47th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Commanders select Sam LaPorta, tight end out of Iowa. Now, I don't see Ron Rivera drafting a tight end, but I think we do need a tight end. I think it is a need. It's not a huge need, but it is a need. Logan Thomas, he looks like he's towards the end of his career. He can barely move. He's as slow as a snail. No yak ability at all. John Bates, he is what he is. He's a good blocker, but he'll be a tight end number 2, tight end number 3 for the rest of his career at best. Hodges, injured last year, a project. Armani Rogers, another project, who has athleticism. I think he has the most upside out of all the tight ends on this roster, to be honest with you. Cole Turner, too. I like Cole. I'm a big Cole Turner fan. But injuries, and he wasn't good. He wasn't really great last year either. The quarterback, I just think Sam Howell, he needs more of a security blanket, and I think at the tight end position, and I'm sorry. Dang, I did the wrong pick, man. We picked Steve Avila. I picked 47. I'm sorry. I was just so excited for Sam LaPorta. That was probably my favorite pick of the draft, other than Devon Witherspoon. But Steve Avila out of TCU, the guard, Steve Avila, he can play center and he can play guard as well. Very versatile. Offers a lot of position flex. I just had a Shaq to the Fool moment there. But Steve Avila out of TCU. So I want to go over his snap count because that's a big reason why I picked him at pick 47 out of TCU. He had... At left guard, he played 1,010 snaps starting in 2022, and then he played 685 snaps starting at center in 2021, 371 snaps starting at center in 2020, and then 113 at right tackle and 26 at right guard, 61 at right guard in 2021. I know Ron Rivera definitely has his juices flowing just reading that and seeing something like that. Knowing the positional flex of Steven Avila, Ron Rivera, he loves positional flex. So, and we don't know. Andrew Wiley most likely is going to be a right tackle. Right guard is going to be probably Sam Cosmi, a center. Nick Gates, Chase Ruia might get cut. So left guard is definitely a question mark. Chris Paul, Sadiq Charles. I'd rather have Steve Avila come in there and start. And then at left tackle, it most likely is going to be Charles Leno, unless we draft a left tackle and just cut Leno. But looking at Avila, he had 540 pass block snaps in 2022, 0 sacks allowed, and 83.6 pass blocking grade. So he had a heck of a year. He did say that he wanted to be drafted by the Cowboys. That's probably because he's in Texas. But Steve Avila, he did a good job against Mozzie Smith against Michigan as well, who was a legitimate defensive tackle as well. So I think Steve Avila would be a good pick, and I think he would be our day one starter at left guard. And he can play center too. So, unfortunately, we get a lot of injuries. So he's a guy that can step in and play at the center position for the Washington Commanders. So our last pick, which is pick 97. Sorry about that. Shaq in a full moment. Sam LaPorta, tight end out of Iowa. I like him a lot. 6'4", 249 pounds. Ran a 4.5 40-yard dash. 35-inch vertical, which is pretty athletic for a guy who's 6'3", 245 pounds. Good hands. Physical blocker. Not the best blocker in the world, but he's a physical blocker. Good hands. Good route runner. Runs up the seams. Can lean on guys and get open. He's a yak guy. We just have no yak ability on this roster at the tight end position. Look at the Kentucky game where he does a beautiful spin move, breaks a guy off, gets him off him, and just scampers down the sideline. Logan Thomas, he was able to do some stuff like that his first year with the Commanders or Washington football team. But Sam LaPorta is a guy that can certainly do that. You look at his numbers, even though Iowa, they're not a high-power offense, but Sam LaPorta was able to produce in that offense. 58 catches, 657 yards, 1 touchdown, 11 yards per catch. As well, like I said, the Kentucky game, 5 catches for 56 yards. 4 catches for 95 yards against Minnesota. Had some pretty big games, 101 yards and 9 catches for Illinois as well. Lined up in the slot as well. Don't know if they would line up outside, but I think you can be versatile with him, and he would be a good security blanket for Sam Howell. So I would love the Sam LaPorta pick. There's a lot of times that I do like. I like Kuntz out of Old Dominion. I like Musgrave out of Oregon State. I love Dalton Kincaid. He's my favorite tight end in this class, but I do like Sam LaPorta a lot. I think he would definitely upgrade this team for sure. He led the Big Ten in yards after catch, 299 in the 2021 season, and catches of 15-plus yards of 18 of those catches in 2022 as well. So, like I said, yak, and yards per route run versus Power 5 competition over the last 2 seasons per PFF. Sam LaPorta was third at 2.20. So he's not out there he's really running routes out there. He's getting open. He's finding ways to get open in the seam and lean on guys and get open. So I really like Sam LaPorta in the third round, but I just don't see Ron Rivera drafting a tight end at all. So you guys let me know what you guys think about this draft. Devon Witherspoon, I don't think that's realistic right now, but he fell in the mock draft that I did, so I just had to take him. Peter Skoronski was there as well. I do like him. He's a guard / left tackle. I wouldn't have mind either one. If Devon Witherspoon's there and Peter Skoronski's there, I think it's a win-win. I don't think either of those guys will fall, but we'll see what happens on draft night. Hail to Commanders. Peace.